Hello everyone and welcome to the ultimate DIWY show. Now, why is this the ultimate DIWY show? Because we do it the way we want to do it, and this is my channel and this is my show, so I will say it is the ultimate show if I like it to be the ultimate show. So many people actually have this problem, and many people actually think that the show is all about fame and it's all about themselves and it's all about how they can do things the way they want to do it. Now, you guys should probably know by now that we do it with Yahweh and we do not do it with ourselves, because we cannot do anything by ourselves. That is a great lie. So basically, I've got actually this comment this morning of our previous part one in our painting, and this is one of my YouTube followers, and he actually asked me a question, and this is me actually going to answer him on his question, because this is part of our show. We are all about learning skills, not just in our painting, not just in our woodwork, and not just in all the things and helping the family to get together and doing all this stuff together. It's not just about that, it's also about our viewers, because our viewers is what's going to keep this channel basically up and running. So I have to actually go and comment back, and I have to interact with my YouTube channel and with my viewers. So this is actually the first interaction that we have, and this is the first time we're going to be discussing this a little bit. So my watcher or my YouTube follower, his name is Peter, he actually asked this question, and he asked me, what will the benefit be for him watching this class? Because this is a class, we do it step by step. I'm showing you guys step by steps, as you've seen in part one where we were prepping our sheet and we did the frame. This is a step-by-step class, and he asked me basically what to expect out of this class. Am I professional, or can I really do paintings? And I'm not going to waste his time by watching 16 or 15 or 10 episodes, and then at the end of the day I can't even paint. And this is basically the question he asked. You want to know what to expect out of this program that we are currently doing by doing a portrait, and this is actually a good question he asked, and that is why I need to actually answer him, because I think many of my viewers is going to ask the same question, and at the end of the day, if you have that question and you don't answer the question, or my viewers don't know what to actually expect, then I can lose them, or maybe they won't complete the task, and they won't complete the class. So basically, I'm going to be doing this show now, and we're going to be doing our sketch, and we're going to complete our sketch. And at the end of this video, I am going to give you guys 3 of my previous paintings that I've done, my latest 3 that I've done. It was actually 5 years back, so I'm also, you can say, new to this again, because I actually have to learn it all over. Although I know all the principles and I actually know how to do this, it's just that I haven't been doing this for quite a while. So basically what I'll do is I'll give 3 of my previous paintings. I'll give you guys a sneak preview of that, so you can basically see what to expect and what the detail is, and how do I paint, and what is my my artistical painting style, and all that stuff. So this will give you guys a little bit of a preview what to expect out of this class. So I will be giving you 3 paintings, which one will be a portrait, obviously, because this is a portrait and you guys really want to see actually what I can do with portraits. Okay, so it will be a portrait, and I'll also do a car, or I have been doing a car before, so I'll put in that as well for you guys. It's a Shelby KR 500. It's a very beautiful car. I've done that one, I'll put it in, and then also I will do a landscape, or I'll put in a landscape that you guys can see how I actually paint. And this is also 3 different mediums. One was a fabric, one was an acrylic on canvas. So you will also see that we're not going to just be learning about fabric, we're also going to be learning in our next shows about other paint styles and other paint methods, and and all that stuff. So we're going to start now with this show. We're going to be doing our sketch, and you guys are going to learn really a lot, because a sketch, you have to actually do it perfect. That is one of the things when you do a portrait, because unfortunately there's only one person that looks like that person, and that means that that person have to be 100% correct. So your sketch is really important. So this is actually a very crucial class in part 2, and that's going to be the sketch. This is going to be really crucial, because if you can't get your sketch to be right, that means your paint is not going to be right on your sketch, and that's going to mean at the end of the day your painting won't look like the person that you are busy painting. So let's get started with our class in part 2, and this is basically our sketch and our drawing, and I might do the background if we have more than enough time to do that. So guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please comment if you have questions or anything. Just give me a comment. I will get back to you guys, and thank you guys for interacting with this show. That means that we are busy growing, and that is what we are all about, is growing our channel so that we can have more people learning more skills at the end of the day. So thank you for watching. Please like it, share it, and comment, and please subscribe to my channel. And then let's get started with our second class.
Okay, so first we're going to take a ruler. It's a 30 centimeter ruler and our B7 pencil, and we're just going to draw very light on our photo, which is an A4 photo. You don't want to spoil the photo because you're going to be working off that photo. And basically we're going to get the center, and then we're just going to divide it into 4 blocks. After you're done with that, then you take your square and you do the same on your sheet, and also divide it exactly into 4 even blocks. Once you have your sheet scale to your photo with the 4 blocks, you start marking out where your face is going to be. You just make light dots just to get the perspective of the photo on the same size and same level as your sheet's blocks. Then we're going to be starting where my left thumb is, and that is the outer line of the face, and start drawing basically down up until where you reach the chin, and then move to your right side outer line of the face, and that is just to get your face on your sheet so that you have a better image of how your size is going to be of your face, and your size of your arms, and the t-shirt, and all the things that's going to be into this drawing. Once you have the outer line, you just go over it and make sure that your outer line is perfect, and where you have made a small mistake or where your size is not correct, just size it out in the correct way. After that, we just draw 2 lines basically where the eyes is going to be. It's going to be 2 light lines, and the reason for doing this is that basically our ears that we're going to be doing next is pretty much in line with our eyesight. So when you do the eyes and get the measurement, because you are working in 4 blocks which you cannot see, I do it light on the sheet, but it is there, and I can actually see in what block or section I should draw what. So this you will see on your sheet when you divide it in even blocks on your sheet and on your photo. Now you'll also note that my thumb of my left hand is most of the time on the place where I am busy drawing, and this is actually to connect with your painting and to connect with your sheet with both your hands. In the beginning this might sound silly, and it might not work for you in the beginning, but as you go on your painting journey and as you go on your sketch journey, you will find that actually if you are using both your hands, and if you connect with your left hand or with the hand that you are not doing your sketch, then you're going to be feeling the connection making with your brain basically, and you're going to be having the same picture in your mind where you are touching it, because once you touch it there, your eyes see what you are currently doing, and then obviously you capture that image, even if it's a really short image that you capture, but you capture it in your mind, and that's when your pencil starts flowing in a right way. Now you can divide your photo and your sheet into more blocks if you are still new to this, and that will actually help you to get it on a more even scale. But as myself, I am a professional. I've been doing this a few times, and I kind of know what I'm doing. So for me, 4 blocks is working at this stage. But you will also find that I use my left hand basically, and sometimes you'll find that I'm using actually more than one finger, and you will actually note that I'm measuring it in my mind, basically drawing blocks on the photo in my mind, and I just hold my fingers on certain spaces where I actually capture that block and capture it in my mind, and then with the pencil you will see that I also put it on the same spot where I start, and on the same spot where my next finger is going to be on my picture. Now I know this might sound like a lot of work. It is a lot of work, and this actually takes time to do this, and it's not always easy to do this, but you have to practice this, because you can only become perfect in something that you master and something that you practice. So I know not your first sketch will always be as perfect, but it's not that big of a problem, because the paint is at the end of the day going to do most of the job. But if you can get your perspective right and the size of your outer lines right, then you can always fix whatever you made mistake from the inside. It's really important to learn your brain not to work from one side and work yourself all the way down up until the end. You need to teach your brain to work a little bit on the top, and then you go to the down side a little bit, and then you start with the neck, and then you move to the shoulders a little bit, and where you can do some shading, you do some shading in it. But it is important not to be working from the top all the way to the bottom, because the reason for us not doing that and work a little bit here and a little bit there is basically, when you do this, you actually have a better view and a better perspective of your picture. Because if you do a little bit of the shoulder, then you get the image and your brain captures the size of that side, which we are currently doing the right side. And then once you move to the other side, your brain already has a kind of a size that it captured and remembered, and then obviously you will be doing the other side a little bit better. And that is why moving around is really important, and not to start by one place, because at the end of the day you will find yourself starting off with a great sketch, and as you move down, then you'll find that you made some mistakes and the image is not the same size or the right size anymore, as if it is a child with a big head and the body is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that is actually because your brain gets tired of a certain thing, and your brain tends to actually go along with your pencil, and it tends to actually want you to start with a certain point, and where you basically lift your pencil, your brain automatically tells you to start where you've lifted it, and that you should never do, because then you're not going to be getting that perspective and the right size of your painting or your drawing or your sketch. Now you should also try to do as much shading as you can, because shading gives your drawing very much depth, and then actually you get a better perspective of how the depth of your portrait is, and that also helps you to manage to get your sizes better and to get your image capture better in your mind. As we're moving to the left side now, you can actually see I'm doing a few measurements, and this is basically measuring out where the t-shirt is going to be and all that stuff. And if you can see the way I'm holding my left hand, my fingers is basically in a way that shows me where I'm going to be starting and where I'm going to be ending of that line I've just done. And that is also really important, and this is why I said that you need to fill your sketch with both your hands, basically, because both your hands is going to be drawing the sketch. Even though you are drawing it with one hand, that your mind actually draws it with both your hands, and that is really important once you learn and master that skill, because then you will find that you are actually busy getting better and better, and that is where you will actually find that now you're becoming a bit professional in doing a drawing or sketch or even in your painting. Now you will also note that the left side, we actually are doing it a lot faster than the right side, and this is just because my mind already captured the size of the sketch, and this is also one of the reasons why you don't do your face, the inside of your face, from the start. You just do your outline of your face and then you move to the body, because doing the t-shirt and doing the arms is a little bit easier, because the face needs to be really perfect, and the eyes and the nose and the mouth needs to be in the right position and in the right angle, and the eyes needs to be positioned in the right way and scale that she is currently staring at, or to whatever she is looking at or in the camera. So this is also very crucial, that you start with your sketch and then you start with a little bit more easier stuff, and then once you get comfortable with your pencil and with your hand and you start getting the bigger picture and the bigger image, that is when you're going to be starting with the detail in the face, because that is where your painting is going to be crucial, and that is where you should not make mistakes, because that is going to be the face. And the clothes on the painting, I mean, you can have any clothes on and it will always have a little bit of a difference in it, but the face will always stay the same and you cannot change that. So by practicing on the t-shirt and on the arms before you go into the face is just a great start to do it, actually, and to just get the feeling of your drawing and to get the bigger picture and the form, basically, of the size of the picture. And that is why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, and this is just so that you guys can learn the skill and master this, and then as you grow in your painting or your artistic journey, then you will see that every time you actually do this, you just get better and better. Now we're going to start with our face, and we're basically going to be starting with the eyes, because the eyes is in the center of your face. If you take the top of the hair and basically measure it to your chin, you'll find that your eyes is pretty much in the center of your face. And the other reason for doing this also is because the eyes is opposite or right in line with the ears, basically, and we've already done the ears, so we pretty much have a better view of where to put our eyes. And we also mark the eyes out with a light pencil in the beginning, so this is why we're going to be starting with the eyes, and then we have the center basically of our face, and then from the eyes you can easily work down with your nose, because it kind of goes in line with your eyes and it also fades in with your eyes, so that is why we do the eyes first. Now also remember that your eyes is basically the center point of the sketch, and the eyes is also going to be the point where most people will first look at your painting, because it's going to be in the center, and the eyes just it gives you that eye contact basically. When you look at a portrait, it's the same as when you talk to a person, then you basically look them in the eye, and this is the same with a portrait painting. The moment you see a portrait painting, the first thing you tend to look at is basically the eyes. So the eyes needs to also be perfect, and also the eyes, it is what actually makes the painting look like that person. Because like I said, when people talk to you, or when people see you, they look you in the eyes, and this is the place that most people look at, and that's what we are most familiar with when we are actually interacting with people, or even with a portrait. The eyes is one of the most important. So if the eyes is not correct, then the whole painting won't be right, and people will immediately see that, okay, there's something wrong with this painting, even though they don't know it's the eyes, because they haven't been seeing the picture or the photo that you were working off. But something will tell them that this painting doesn't look in perspective, or it doesn't look right, and that is because your eyes is not right. So you have to really do a lot of practice on your eyes, and you have to get this right in order for you to move on actually to the rest of your sketch. Now basically I've only done the outer line of the eyes. We're not going to be doing a lot of coloring in it, or making it too dark, and the reason for this is also, you will see in the rest of the face that we're still going to be do when we come to the chin. You will see that basically I just mark it out roughly, and I do not put a lot of shading too much into it, because the reason for doing that is basically when we're working with our paint, the pigment of your flesh color is not as much as in black or white, and so it kind of fades through, and then you have dark spots with your pencil, which you don't want in this painting at that stage, especially in the face, because the face is going to have a lot of paint that melts in, and you're going to do a lot of fading and shading in, because it's got all these colors like flesh and brown and pink and all that stuff. So you don't want to be drawing too much into your face, but you have to get the outer lines of your nose and your eyes, just to get that 100% correct. Now the eyes, obviously we're going to be working with white, because the eye has white in it, and then also you're going to be using other colors depending on what the eye color is. So inside the eye, basically it's not going to be a big of a problem, because the paint that we're going to be using in there, it does have a lot of pigment in, and then you will be able to clear out the pencil's color basically, and you will be able to do that. So that's not a big of a problem. But when it comes to the nose, and when it comes to the chin and all that stuff, you don't want to be doing too much of shading in your sketch. And you will also find that I use my hand, my palm basically, to rub most of the sketch and most of the pencil out, just to fade it in and to make it a little bit lighter, so it is not too dark. Now you will also note that I was working on the eyes, and then I moved to the nose, and now basically I'm not finished with the nose yet. I'm just doing some measurements to make sure that my eyes is in line and my nose is in line, and then I did some shading on the side basically where I'm busy now, and then after that I'm going to start with the mouth, but that's just to get a better depth into the picture, and just to put a little bit of a shading in there, so that I have a better picture of where am I and how should I size and space my mouth and my nose, and if it is the right size, and if it is big enough, or is it, if it's too small, then I have to put more shading in there and stuff like that. And now you see that before I even start with the mouth, I just draw in the eyebrows basically, and this is, like I said in the beginning, that you have to move around, because the moment you see that, okay, I'm struggling with the nose, nose, or I'm struggling because on this stage I was actually struggling a little bit with the nose. So I just move on and then get a better perspective of the rest of the picture, so I know how to space my nose better, because a nose can sometimes be hard to draw as well. It's the same than the eyes. I'm a little bit better with the eyes than with the nose. I can still struggle sometimes with the nose, although the nose is not that big of an issue, because you're going to be doing that a lot with the paint. And once you start with your paint, you'll see that it actually gives it that better look. Even if your drawing or your sketch at this stage is not 100%, you must just remember one thing, that we are not doing a full charcoal sketch basically where we have to put in all the detail. We're just doing our lines and our outer lines and our basic sketch, just to get our idea where we're going to put the paint and how we're going to be putting our paint on our sketch. Now you'll also note that I'm working off 2 pictures or 2 photos basically. Now the one I'm working with now, the bigger one, is actually an edited one, because this is a painting, so you can play with the colors a little bit. As you see on the original photo, the top one, the full one with a full body in it, that one is basically too much light for me in the face. The face is too light for me, so I actually edit it with software, just to get a little bit brown and a little bit more color into the face. And this is sometimes because of a flashlight or things like that, or the sun wasn't right, that made the picture or the photo to be too much white. And this is why I edit it. But sometimes on your edited photo, and because you enlarge it, you don't get that full detail and all the right colors. So sometimes I do go to the original painting, or the original photo, and then I just make sure 100% that the mouth and the nose or the eyes is correct, and because of detail that we lost in our edited one, that we are not going off track and that we are still drawing the same person. Now we are still with our sketch busy, but if you are familiar with painting and you know a little bit of the principles of painting, the layering and that stuff, basically in your sketch you also do kind of a layering, because your eyes is deeper than your nose, because your nose comes out of your face basically. So your eyes is deeper and your nose not, and your lips, for instance, is also outside of your face. It's like it's coming out of your face because it's lips, and the eyes is inside of your face. So basically what I'm trying to say, or what I'm trying to explain here, is the same way with paint. You're going to be doing layering, and this is basically, you have to put your neck, you're going to be painting your neck before you paint your face, because your face goes over your neck basically. And this is the reason why also we don't mind if our lips or our nose is not 100% correct, because that we can always resize it with our paint, and we can always just make it bigger if it's too small, or we can even make it smaller, because the lips is basically going to be on the face after you have done the rest of the face basically, or let me say the skin around your lips basically is going to be we are going to do that first, and then we are going to do the lips on top of your face basically. So that is why it's not that important to spend too much time in your sketch, but you can fix it with your paint at the end of the day. But to get your sketch as right as possible and as 100% as possible, that would be a benefit, because then your painting won't require you to basically put a lot of thought in it, and it's going to be much easier, because once you have done your sketch 100%, that means that your hand basically and your mind already captured the whole picture, and it kind of captured it in the right way. So when you come to where you're going to do your painting, you already have the right picture in your mind, so it's going to be a little bit easier. rather than to start fixing with the paint, and that is also going to make you a little bit confused, or it's going to actually make you to feel like you're not doing something right, and you might give up before you even understand you can actually fix those things, and it's not that big of a problem. Okay, so we measured the hair basically, and we're starting with the hair, and this also is something that is going to be really difficult in the beginning, but this doesn't have to look as perfect as the face basically, because a child's hair can go into any directions. If you have the color right and you get the color right with the paint on your hair, then it is not going to be that big of a problem. If there's one or two hairs that is out and you didn't do that perfect, it's really not going to be a problem. But you want to get the size of the hair basically on the face the same, so it does give that look. And you will see the drawing currently, or the face basically, looks like a little bit older person at this stage, because the hair is not in yet, and the hair once it starts getting onto your sketch, then you will see that the face changes as the whole picture actually changed when we were doing the face. The down part of the picture where the arms is and the body basically, it does change because it gives it a more bigger perspective. Your eyes tells you that there's something still wrong with the sketch. So, and this is why we don't mind this, and this is also one of the great or big reasons why I said that you have to draw a little bit here and a little bit there, because then you get the bigger picture at the end of the day, and you will find that your picture change a lot when you move on to a different spot where you were not drawing previously. So, and this is also a technique and a skill that you have to learn. Like you see, currently I'm drawing on the top there because it's where I want to know basically how high my hair should go, and where that part of the picture is going to go into, and then from there I just work it down and try to get my hair, which you cannot 100% see on the photo, because it is difficult to see the hair basically on the photo that I've edited, and that is why I'm using actually the non-edited photo, the original photo basically, to do the hair, so that I can actually see the hair's right color in the first place, because you need to have the right color to get the dark spaces and the light spaces and the white spaces basically all together. The hair also can sometimes be really tough, and because you did your face before you do your hair, obviously you kind of in that mode where you want it to be perfect, and the hair is not that easy always to get 100% perfect. And it doesn't matter really, because hair can move into any direction, so it's not that big of a problem. The main thing is just to space your hair correct, and to have the size of your hair over your face to be 100%, and then the inside of your hair, you can always just see how you will be able to do that. And this is why I'm using the original photo and not the edited photo, because I can literally get all the colors right, and although it's a sketch and we're not working with colors, you do see on the photo where it's lighter and where it's going to be dark, and where you have your white spots where the flash basically reflects on the hair, or the sun reflects on the hair. So basically you just have to get the shapes right, and you will see that I draw a lot of shapes in it, and then after I draw a shape, then I just go into the shape and then I color it in. If it's dark where I'm currently busy with, I put in the dark spots, and then after I just put in darker lines that has the shape and the form of hair basically, even if it's not 100% right on the picture, or on my sketch from the picture, it doesn't really matter. It does matter, but we're still going to be doing that with the paint. And this is just a rough sketch. At the end of the day, we are doing a rough sketch. We are not doing a charcoal full sketch that we're going to be using as it is in the sketch. We are going to paint over this. So always remember that if you made a mistake on the hair, it's not that big of an issue, because you can fix it with your paint, as long as where it is dark and you have your dark spots, that you just put that in, so that when you start with your painting and when you start doing the paint and the hair, you basically already have an idea where it's going to be dark and where it's going to be light, and that's, you will see when we get to the painting basically what I mean by your dark spots, because we're first going to be doing the dark spots with the black, and then going to the brown and lighter to the white at the end of the day. So that's also part of layering. And if you note in this whole sketch that we basically doing, you will also find that we also had to do a lot with layering, because we started off with the faces lines, and then we skipped the face basically, and we moved to the neck, and then after the neck basically we moved to the t-shirt. And this is basically because your face is on top of your neck. Your neck is basically a little bit backwards, if you can say it like that, and then basically your face goes on top of your neck, and then your clothes obviously goes over your neck again, because you put on your clothes and then that's on top of your skin again. So that's why we did that after we finished the neck. And then we move to the arms, because the arms comes out of the clothes again. And this is basically layering. Even in your sketch you are doing layering, the same as the reason why we're doing the hair later, or the last part is basically doing the hair, is because the hair goes over your face and sometimes even over your eyes, and depending on how long your hair is, but and it goes over your ears. So your ears and your face should be there before you do your hair. Now this is not a principle that is a must. You can draw a picture if you like from the top to bottom. If you know how to do that, that is not going to be a problem, because this is just a sketch. And this is actually a little bit more into detail sketch, and this is just because we're doing a class, and not everyone knows how to do a sketch. So this is why I'm doing a full class on the sketch basically. But sometimes when you do a painting, you don't even have to go that much into a sketch, but just for people to get familiar with the principles and how it works in a sketch, that is why I'm actually doing a full sketch basically. But once you do it the right way, and once you are familiar with, okay, you start with the face outer line, then you move to the neck, and then you move to the t-shirt, and then to the arms, you will learn the principle of layering. And once you get to your paint basically, it's going to be easier, because your mind already are familiar with, okay, the hair should go on top of the skin of the face basically. So you can't draw into the hair, you have to draw the hair on top of the skin, because there is going to be some places in the hair basically that goes over the skin, and the skin is going to come from the back through the hair basically. And this is, I know it's kind of difficult to explain it now, and I know it's if you are not familiar, if this is the first time that you actually do a sketch or a portrait, you don't have to worry too much about all these things. You just do a sketch, start with a sketch, try to get it as best as possible, start with your paint, and you will see when we do the class where we're going to start working with the paint and stuff, you will see and you will learn where to start with your paint and all that stuff. Like for instance, we're going to be starting with the background, because the whole picture, the whole person is in front of the background is in the back. So you have to start with the back, because you can't draw your back on top of your picture, because that will make it to look not 3D, and you won't get that right 100% perspective of the photo. And that is why shading also is going to be really important, and that I'll teach you guys when we get to that class. But as we are about to finish basically with our hair, and you can see now the face actually tend to look a little bit younger, and when we come to the other side, which is the right side, then you will see that it does give it a younger look. And even now you see I'm busy basically doing the necklace. I know you guys can see on the edited photo the necklace. The original photo is too small, you can't really see the necklace over there, but the necklace goes on top of everything because it is on top of your skin, and it is obviously going over on top of the t-shirt. So this is it's in a sketch, it doesn't matter really when you do it, because it's just a sketch, and you're going to do that last, the necklace, you're going to be basically doing it last when you do your paint. But if you do your sketch as if you are already busy painting, then when it comes to painting and when it comes to where you are going to paint, you're not going to be struggling with that too much if you are not familiar with this stuff. And this is the reason why I'm actually drawing like this, because many people would disagree probably, and many people will not agree on the method that I'm doing it. But this is a class where I'm trying to make the class as much in detail and as much as I can to give you guys the best method of doing it and the best way of learning how to do this skill. And this is the reason why I'm using this method. It's not to say that you have to do it this way, but for a person that is still in the learning process of how layering works and how everything goes into a sketch and how everything goes into the painting, then obviously doing it this way will teach you your brain also to actually know that, okay, you can't do the face first, because the neck should go underneath the face, and you should start with your neck. So if you start doing and following the right principles on the sketch, then it's going to help you a lot in your painting. And this is the reason why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you guys are learning a lot of skills, and thank you for watching the Ultimate DIWY show. Please like it, share it, give your comment. If there's something you don't understand, drop me a comment and I'll get back to you, and subscribe.